That backstretch headwind is going to really be fighting hard. You can see the fluttering.
And we had a clean start for Alan Webb. The field is just ripe. He's in the middle of the pack right now, but what a way to start and prepare yourself for the University of Michigan.
He makes no bounds about it today in the paper. He said, I am definitely starstruck. He met El Guerrouj the other day, got a ride with him to the track to work out. He is very much in awe of the guys that he's running against, understands that he has a job to do. He has a race that he has to run that is his, as we see Sean Gross, the rabbit. And what a lot of pressure there is on these young men that are the rabbits here. We're going to have a couple of them, kids here from Oregon, that have run in their own right quite well, under 4 minutes. Their job they have to do to bring this out in the right pace, because El Guerrouj wants to run the fastest mile time ever run in the United States.
You hear maybe the most knowledgeable track fans in the world here at Hayward Field. They love this event. You know, the name of Steve Prefontaine comes to mind, and how ironic that Alan Webb has a poster of Steve Prefontaine on his wall at home. But as we talked about earlier, he cannot go out and get too caught up right now in the moment. Right now, he's running in last.
As we mentioned, Alan Webb went through in about 58.5 seconds. He is last, but he is on his pace.
Everyone's talking about him hitting that 3:55, and Dwight, you made a great point earlier about how he may break that and he still may be 20-30 yards behind the winner, but it'll be a tremendous accomplishment.
He'll be the happiest last place finisher ever if he runs under 4 minutes here, as we see him doing his job, making his move right behind Jason Pyra, two-time Olympian. He's actually going to go by Pyra at this point. The rabbit went out in 53 seconds. Now it's Mike Miller, a 3:57 miler from here at Oregon, who is well out in front of El Guerrouj. Guerrouj knows that it went out too quickly, so now he is running smart. Legat is right on his inside, at least 12 or 13 meters behind Mike Miller, who is supposed to be taking them through in 1:52, and he has done his job. It's just that the pack has not followed him that closely.
We know Kevin Sullivan would like to see Webb do well. How about Jason Pyra? Is here another guy who's maybe rooting for the kid?
He may be, but Pyra seems to be out of it, and I'll tell you, Alan Webb went through right on 1:58. That is what he wanted to do. The rest of the pack, El Guerrouj ran through at about 1:55, so he is off the pace that he wanted to run under 3:50. Webb just under 1:58. He's running a brilliantly run race.
1:57.7 for Alan Webb. And I tell you, the pressure that is on this kid, we talked about it throughout the week today. He just seems so poised, and he's handling it so well.
El Guerrouj wants to run under 3:50 for this Hayward Field crowd. He says he'll be back again next year, maybe to run the 5,000 meters. He's starting to pick up the pace, but Alan Webb running very smart. The third lap is the lap you've got to run in the mile, and that is what the young man has got to stay in contact with. If he can go through in around 2:57 to 2:58, he's well within himself, because he can run under 60 off that pace easily. As we see now, El Guerrouj leading over Legat with the 1 lap to go.
And the bell lap, it is El Guerrouj and Legat as they go 1 and 2. El Guerrouj looks over his shoulder just to get a reference of where Legat is, and he's starting to open it up a little bit, and the kick is coming.
He's going to have to run under 55-second last lap to break 3:50, but look at Webb, 2:58.3. He's certainly capable, and he's picking it up down the backstretch. El Guerrouj looks so relaxed the way he has the last 3 years. You can see Alan Webb there, number 28, working his way through the crowd. He's now coming out closely on Kevin Sullivan, and Legat now trying to get after El Guerrouj, but I think that's too much room to make up.
You cannot let El Guerrouj get this far ahead of you, and look at this. Alan Webb is making a push. It is the magic of Hayward Field, or the adrenaline, or the combination thereof, but Alan Webb is putting on a show. He may steal it. El Guerrouj coming away with this one. El Guerrouj from Morocco will cross the finish line unofficially 3:49.93, and for Alan Webb, has he done it?
It looks to me like Webb may have gone under 3:55. 3:55.3 is what we're looking at for Jim Ryan's high school record. He's gone well under 4 minutes. El Guerrouj runs under 3:50 outdoors, the first ever on American soil under 3:50. We're waiting for an official
and now
time.
They're saying maybe 3:53. Is that possible for Alan Webb?
He was awfully close to El Guerrouj. He was fourth in the race. Fourth place is 3:53.40. Webb 3:53.40.
He
annihilates Jeff Ryan's record.
Unbelievable. You know, there are so many people that said the kid could not do it. It's too early in his career. But you put him with the king, El Guerrouj, who runs a great race at 3:49.92. And the two will share a victory lap. How appropriate is that, Dwight? Unbelievable.
A record that is not